I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Tuesday, April the 5th, 2016. We begin today with an update for you on a story we covered yesterday about the United Nations decision to censor 3 panels from an exhibit about Israel that opened yesterday at the body's headquarters in New York City. The UN had initially banned the panels on Zionism, Jerusalem, and Arab Israelis, deeming them inappropriate and not allowing them to be part of the 13-panel display titled Israel Matters, which was created by Israel's permanent mission to the UN together with the organization Stand With Us. However, following outcry from Israel's ambassador to the UN, Danny Danon, the UN reversed its decision regarding the Zionism panel late yesterday, and it is now part of the display. Danon called the reversal a clear win for Israeli diplomacy and a victory for the truth about Israel. Danon said it was a step in the right direction and that the UN must also now reverse its decision regarding the other 2 panels. Executive Director of Stand With Us's Northeast Region, Shachar Azani, called the reversal an important victory. He said, "We will continue to stand by the people and the state of Israel against lies and any attempt to censor the truth about the vibrant and diverse democracy that is the modern state of Israel." And by the way, Mark Golub will be speaking to Azani on tonight's In the News, coming up right after this newscast at 6:30. Meanwhile, the Associated Press reports that UN spokesman Stefan Dujarric said that the panel on Zionism was not disallowed or censored, but rather the result of a miscommunication. Dujarric said there was a misunderstanding due to a question about a particular photo used in that panel, and that initially the Israeli mission was told that the panel could not be displayed, but that was then revised. The AP said Dujarric didn't directly address the issues with the other 2 panels on Jerusalem and Arab Israelis, but cited UN regulations that require displays to, quote, be in conformity with the purposes and principles of the body. He said, "We are the custodians of this space, and so it falls to us to make the call of whether proposed exhibits are in such conformity." Over 1,000 people gathered yesterday in central Paris for a conference discussing the threats posed by radical Islam and far-right populism. The day-long event was initiated by the American Jewish Committee's Europe branch, whose director Simon Rodan Ben-Zaken stressed to the crowd the goal of the conference, which he said is to wake up to the reality of those threats and take action together to confront and defeat them. French Prime Minister Manuel Valls spoke at the event as well. He said, "We have to give a very strong political answer. We all have to confront our societal problems and steadfastly reaffirm our values." And staying with the AJC, CEO David Harris said that High Representative of the European Union for Foreign Affairs and Security Policy, Federica Mogherini, confirmed to him at a meeting this morning in Brussels that she plans to address the AJC's Global Forum in Washington coming up on June the 6th. Harris said at this critical juncture in global affairs, it is more important than ever that we engage with leaders of the democratic world, foster the transatlantic partnership, and share views on events unfolding in the Middle East. Harris is in the Belgian capital for a series of meetings with high-level officials to discuss such issues as Israel relations with the European Union and the growing threat of anti-Semitism. Jewish historian, writer, and Holocaust survivor Jules Shelvis has died. Born in Amsterdam, Shelvis was the last Dutch survivor of the Sobibor death camp. He lost much of his family, including his wife, murdered at the death camp. He was a co-plaintiff in the trial of Sobibor guard John Demjanjuk, who was found guilty in 2011 of being an accessory to the murder of 28,000 Jews. In 1999, Shelvis founded the Sobibor Foundation, just one of his lifelong efforts to ensure that what happened at the death camp was remembered. He died at his home in Amstelveen near Amsterdam Sunday night at the age of 95. Nefesh B'Nefesh announced yesterday that they will honor veteran Israeli diplomat and former Foreign Minister of Israel Moshe Aarons with a special Lifetime Achievement Award. Nefesh B'Nefesh promotes Aliyah and eases the process for Olim, new immigrants to Israel from North America and Great Britain. Ahrens was born in Lithuania, moved to the U.S. as a teenager, and then made Aliyah from New York to Israel in 1948. Nefesh B'Nefesh also announced the recipients of its Sylvan Adams Bonei Tzion Prize for 2016, which is given in recognition of the spirit of modern-day Zionism by contributions in a significant way towards the State of Israel. Those being honored include Professor of Developmental Biology and Cancer Research at Hebrew University, Professor Howard Chaim Cedar, founder and director of the Aguna and Get Refusal Prevention Project of the International Young Israel Movement and the Jewish Agency for Israel, Dr. Rachel Levmore, and Staff Sergeant in the IDF, Sahar Elbaz, for his courageous actions during Operation Protective Edge. The $10,000 Bonei Tzion prizes, as well as the special honor for Ahrens, will be presented next month at the Knesset. And looking now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Tuesday, April the 5th, at 8 o'clock, Professor Gil Troy of McGill University discusses the need for a new kind of Zionism and suggests ways to resist efforts to delegitimize the State of Israel. That's in a program from our coverage of AIPAC 2016 in Washington. At 9 tonight, Mark Golub sits down with Israeli author Yossi Klein Halevi on the Chaim. And as I mentioned earlier, right after this newscast tonight at 6:30, Mark is joined by Stand With Us Northeast Executive Director Shachar Azani on In the News. And that's the JBS News Update for Tuesday, April the 5th, 2016. I'm Teisha Bader.